going on, guys? Welcome back to Everyday Struggle from the crib. Nadeska, Academics, and Wayno here. So I requested earlier in the week that Wayno dress up for us at least one day, so shit felt a little bit normal. Is today the day, Wayno?
Nah, I'm still. I'm gonna go work out after this. This is just a little workout hoodie and shit. I ain't dressing up still. I'm chilling.
Damn, you switched up the
Let's
colors.
Let's go to the gray.
It's been a lot of gray. The blue looks good.
Yeah, it looked like you were on the prison yard for a second, man. It looked like you were walking off the set of 50 Cent's new show, Life. So man, I didn't know what's up.
Salute to all the brothers behind the wall, but no, I'm not in no prison yard, man. I ain't doing none of that.
Okay. Hey, by the way, as y'all have, Nadeska, just because you even mentioned it yesterday, I can tell you right now that if this camera that I was having on my laptop was portable, I'd bring it into the kitchen. I got a whole fucking session going on in here. Oxtail, rice, and peas. Plantains.
Yeah,
no, it's happening as we speak.
Again.
No, I'm just
Why
rice
do you
and
have
peas.
to lie so much so early in the morning?
Just put in.
Are you serious?
Put in the group chat, man.
I am cooking. Yo, you gotta boil the peas till it gets tender enough. Then you put the rice in. Listen, I got the oxtail seasoned and everything. I got my whole little mix. My sauce is ready. Don't you dare talk to me like that, Wayno. You a French toast type nigga, Wayno. Don't do it to me. We already had disagreements before we started the show.
Guess what, Academics? I'm a French toast type of nigga at 9:23 in the morning. Not a fucking French toast nigga in the afternoon. You eating oxtails at 9 in the morning. You're bugging the fuck out.
Well, I'm making it now. You gotta realize. You know what I realized? Yo, my sleep schedule is so fucked. Like so. Even I think our first topic we're gonna get into. Yeah. I didn't have to wake up for it. Like I was actually up at 2 a.m. while like two rappers start beefing.
Yeah.
When usually that's sleep time for most people.
So why don't you just start meal prepping when you're up that late? That's what my mom used to do. She'd be cooking at like 2 a.m. and just letting it cool. Anyway, you are full of shit. What's going to happen is you're going to leave here, you're going to order some takeout, and then try to plate the shit nicely and send us a picture in the group chat.
You that type of nigga. You a fraud nigga. Like that's the type of dude you is. You the one that's going to get the plate, order the plate, and be like, yo, I made food and get it all catered from Miss Lily's or some shit. That's the type of dude you
He's
is.
never heard of Miss Lily's. Stop playing with
him.
I know your type, Academics.
Niggas know Wayno is like a chopped cheese type nigga. So let's get him out of this conversation. But you've been kind of teasing like you're Grenadian, like your culture. They just
what does that mean? I've been teasing my culture, Academics. Please explain.
They want to see if you could actually hold it down. Like I'm telling you, I'm a beast in the kitchen. They don't know about you. I'm a big nigga. I eat already.
Guys,
they don't know about you.
The Everyday Struggle Cook-Off Thanksgiving 2020. We're coming out of lockdown for this one. Stay tuned. Yeah. All right, so this drama that Axe said he was up for last night. So you guys remember, of course, a few weeks ago, French Montana and Tory Lanez did their hit-for-hit battle on IG Live. French won, and apparently he's feeling extra confident right now. So he did an interview with my boy Speedy Mormon at Complex News. Speedy asked him if he feels there's another artist he would be a better match with. Here's what he had to say.
I mean, honestly, you could put somebody like Kendrick Lamar next to me on the same stage in the festival. I might outshine him, not because I'm a better rapper or whatever it is. It's just I got more hits. You know what I'm saying? Kendrick Lamar got albums. He got masterpieces. You know what I'm saying? But if you was to put us on the festival stage, I will outshine because I have more hits than Kendrick Lamar.
All right, so that was French claiming that while Kendrick has masterpieces, he has more hits and anthems, and he would outshine him on the festival stage. Obviously, people had very strong feelings about this big statement, including Young Thug, who responded and called French a fool for this statement. And this started a little back and forth between them. So Young Thug told him he won't ever have more hits than Kendrick. French responded by taking shots at Thug for wearing a skirt in his No Stylist video. But I don't know, if you've been a Young Thug fan for a long time, this isn't really news. So he posted a photo allegedly of Young Thug in a skirt. Thug said it wasn't him. Then he said he was going to hit Meek Mill to get footage of French getting knocked out. So this went back and forth.
I'm waiting for that. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Let's just start at the beginning of this. French Montana saying that he has more hits or anthems than Kendrick Lamar. Fact or fiction?
I love French Montana to death. Let me go out and say that first.
Yo, love him to death.
I love him.
You love him, but maybe not to death.
I love him to death as an artist. I love him to death as an artist. The niggas, he's from the Bronx. I was born and raised in the Bronx, then moved to Harlem. I love French, but French is bugging the fuck out. He does not have more hit records than Kendrick Lamar. That is an absolute no. You know what the problem is? And I had this debate on Twitter. I asked, what do we identify as a hit? Are hits only identified as Billboard entries? If that's the case, then we're bugging the fuck out. Billboard entries is not the only thing that qualifies you for a hit. There's tons of hit records that never made it to Billboard, that weren't number one on Billboard, that is some of the biggest influential music of our life that was not number one.
All right, I see Axe face and he's about to jump in and say something wild, but To Wayno's point, remember when all those protests were happening a few years ago over police brutality? All Right for Kendrick, by Kendrick, for example. I don't know how well that charted on Billboard, but that was like an anthem for protesters. It was a big deal.
The Black Lives Matter like song?
But that's only one. The problem with people when it comes to Kendrick is niggas think that he only raps a certain way and might not know the shit that's on his albums and never been to one of his concerts. On his first album alone, he got at least a good 7 to 8 joints that's hit records.
What are we considering the first album? Official or Section 80?
Official. I ain't even gonna go to Section 80. I'm not gonna go to Section 80.
City, right?
Good Kid, Mad City. Let's go, because I was looking at it. I was looking at Good Kid, Mad City. Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe. Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe. That's a big one. Now, I'm not talking about French throws his features on other people's records into the mix. I'm not even gonna go on Kendrick's features. Like, let's not even go there. Just what else we got on here? We got Swimming Pools on here, right? We got Poetic Justice on here. We got Mad City, which is probably the biggest festival anthem, arguably, when it comes to anybody doing a song at a festival. Mad City, right? If Pyrus and Crips all got along, right? What else could we go with?
Axe over here raising his eyebrows at you.
He could raise his eyebrows.
I'm letting him get his time. I'm letting him get it. You know, I gotta get his time because you know what?
Backseat Freestyle would be considered a hit record when it comes to Kendrick Lamar performing, because he brought up French brought up festivals. If we put in Kendrick Lamar on Rolling Loud and French on Rolling Loud, they're not even doing the same stage or the same time slot. Like, it's not even close in that space.
All right, Ak, what do you think? Specifically about, because French did say festival stage specifically.
Yeah, he said that specifically.
Let's start off at the beginning, right? Mm-hmm. Because Wayno actually said a great point, which I was going to make. I think this needs to be defined before you have this conversation, or else you'll be talking like this. Like I'm talking here, he's talking. What's a hit record, right? So through this whole time, and I remember, again, you know, I'll say it again because I hate when people say stuff about me that I know about myself. Yes, I use Drake as an example. Get it? I got it. But one of the reasons why I was saying, like, even Drake and Jay in that type of context, a hit for me is this. People can see it in two different ways. But what I have been noticing in terms of hits, and by the way, the reason why, you know, I think French feels like he's underappreciated. Him being Tory, he got his flowers a bit.
Yeah, he should.
French is the anthem guy. Let me specify. The anthem guy.
Okay.
The anthem guy isn't the guy that is so lit that every song on his album makes the Billboard chart. So, by the way, Kendrick has way more Billboard top 100 entries than French. But how many of those, I think he has 48 to like French is like maybe 20? How many of those of Kendrick's catalog has dominated and persisted and stayed on the charts? And I think that's where the conversation. By the way, hold on. I'm not gonna come. This is just to clarify for anybody watching. My point or argument is not going to say that French is right, that he got more hits than Kendrick Lamar. I'm just saying, number one, if it was just skill for skill, maybe not Kendrick and French clearly, but like you remember when Childish Gambino way back, he said he was better than a bunch of people, and some people said, "Yo, a rapper, you're supposed to feel like that." Maybe that's how French is feeling. Like, yo, I'm supposed to say I got more hits than him. But again, first, so I'm defining what hit is to me. A hit is not only a Billboard Hot 100
right,
entry.
Thank you. It's not.
A hit also is not only a song that really lives and maybe lasts over time in terms of a cult classic. Those are two different things. Can I Live by Jay-Z? Was that a big Billboard hit song that was number one? I don't think so. Is it a classic song, and has it lived and grown well over time? And if you are familiar at all with Jay-Z's discography, if that song was played, would you not then look and say that's a heavy hitter song? Absolutely, right?
It's a hit. If something lives over time, it's a hit. Whether it doesn't have to be number one or be like the top record on Billboard to be a hit. All right, Act. You was making points, but then you veered off a little bit. Go ahead.
I'll make one more example, which I feel helps this conversation. I don't think until the Super Bowl, maybe not last year, maybe the year before, maybe it was last year, Meek Mill's Dreams and Nightmare, the intro, charted the highest it's ever charted on Billboard Hot 100. Mm-hmm. Now, within the culture, and that's why I say cold classics, like people within the culture that's familiar with Meek's music or whatever, or like even just club culture, that shit's been a hit. Like, you drop that, it could be the wackest DJ doing the wackest set of all time. He dropped that song. If every chick was sitting down, all the hood niggas was fucking like checking their phones, they're hopping up and singing it, right? It's a hit within that, those like, you know, environments, but has it been a hit on the charts? That's where the difference is. I think French is thinking like, okay, backseat freestyle. While a lot of people know if Power and Crips both get along, great.
That's not backseat freestyle.
Well, that's actually Mad City. I'm sorry. Sorry. But even backseat freestyle, like a lot of people know that shit. Yeah. Most of Kendrick fans know that shit. Is that comparable to a Stay Scheming?
Come on.
By the way, backseat.
Come on.
No.
Come on.
Listen, I'm not trying to lose you.
Stay Scheming is not French Montana's song, bro. That's not his song.
All right.
He's on the hook.
All right, so
if we using that, then can I fucking use Kendrick being on Taylor Swift's fucking song?
Yeah.
No, like
that's what.
No, listen, bro. Like
the
okay.
parameters of the hit for hit was never set.
Okay,
if
so
the parameters
so
of
wait
the
a
hit
second.
for hit was set, French probably would have not beat Tory Lanez. We cannot clown Tory Lanez for losing and then try to disqualify him.
We can't use a nigga like this. Is the thing. I'm not trying to take nothing from French because French got like. First of all, I don't think anybody expected French to be around as long as he's been around. That's one, right?
And by the way, Mad City peaked at 75 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts.
Okay.
Yet it is a classic.
Oh, it's
a
hit.
classic.
No, it's a hit record. Same way, nigga. Fucking keep your head up. Keep your head up by Tupac peaked at fucking 12. You could like that peaked at 12. It's a fucking legendary hit record.
Okay, no, it's a hit. That's what I'm saying. There's a difference with hits and classic.
You know, the thing I realized on this show, unfortunately, like we can never.
Listen, when you talk about hits, I talk about numbers. When we talk, so let's be clear.
If we talk about numbers,
I talk about numbers.
If we talking about numbers, then Kendrick and French is not even in the same stratosphere. If you talking about numbers,
for particular songs, for not having the higher chart or more lasting songs, again. You even look at the 20 songs that French listed, even though he named one twice.
Bro, you just said that Kendrick had like 40 fucking entries in comparison to French's
I'm a little
20.
bit confused right now.
Yo, every time Drake drops an album, every one of his songs will chart. Doesn't mean all of them are bona fide.
Drake.
You get what I mean?
Okay, so academics, stop for a second,
Kendrick.
bro. You guys can never decide on criteria. You can never agree. No matter how many times we try to do it on this show when we're talking about albums, hits, you guys never come to a working definition that you both agree on. So all of that said, back to French saying on a stage at a festival he would outshine Kendrick.
That's not true. No, that's bullshit. That's bullshit.
Then are you?
But don't take his bullshit arguments to throw away mine. What I'm trying to say is that Kendrick Cole. I won't mention the name that you don't like me to mention, but they're the product of the streaming era. Every song is on their album will be charted on the
French
Billboard
not a product.
Hot 100.
French ain't coming the same time that they came in.
Man,
French and Kendrick is on the same XXL freshman cover.
Hold on.
French is the one after. My fault. French is the one after.
And here's the thing, though. Because French is a singles-based artist. That's why I when I was talking about hit for hit, it should be compared to DJ Khaled. Not someone who's, like, people love them for their body of work and they have hits. That's what Kendrick is. Like, for example, think about this. This song, Kendrick Lamar, God, y'all probably can't name the first 3 lines off of that shit. That shit debut with
this what God feel like?
Hold on. Yeah. Okay. All right. Duckworth. Could you name that?
Duckworth is a fucking story song. Like you just throwing, you picking shit off the fucking tree.
No. I'm
picking shit off the tree. Stop it.
No, I'm not.
No,
I'm not.
All right. You know how all right.
I'm mentioning certain of his.
Okay,
entries.
you said a lot. Let me ask you this question. If we go to if it hits, right? We talking about hits. I went to a Post Malone show. Post Malone performed nothing but fucking hits.
Post Malone's different than Kendrick.
No,
Stop
he's totally
Post
different.
Post Malone makes all radio songs.
Right,
Kendrick does
That's
not
the point I'm trying to make. Shut up for a second so I can tell you something. When Post Malone, I went to a Post Malone show, he did hits, right? His whole shit was hits. Even some of his album cuts, they're all hits, right? Now look, if we talking about a festival stage, right? Because we're not taking what French said to throw away your argument. We're using what he said to gauge him. If you put French on a fucking any festival in America or outside of America, and put Kendrick on every festival in America or outside of America, them niggas is not even, French is not a headliner at any festival. At any festival, right. All the hits he has. So what are we at that point when he said that to win his argument? What are we arguing right now?
That's what I'm confused about. You're arguing some other. Just to be clear, what you're saying that you agree with the festival comment, what Wayno is saying, but you're just saying that you're saying they shouldn't have been compared to begin with.
Yo, what people who are saying hit for hit don't understand is that not because you like an artist means they've always just produced chart-topping, single bass performing hits.
Hey, let me ask you a question.
Hold on, that's the whole point. And by the way, there's nuance. By the way, go look at his tweets. He just tweeted out like about 3-4 hours ago. He updated what he was saying. He was saying, "Yo, I'm not shitting on Kendrick. I just say that some of the." But that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to show y'all the difference, right? While I would never, like, y'all think I'm on crack? I would never compare Kendrick Lamar to French Montana. French Montana does get assisted by a lot of features and gets helped with a lot of big hooks. 100%. Never was ever denying that. All I'm saying is that because this hit for hit battle, we should have said it from then. Hey, French, your features don't matter. If you have a feature on the song, we don't want to hear it. Because all the hype and the hoopla that we looked at Tory and said Tory lost for, Tory would have won. Tory would have beat him if he could have used Unforgettable, which a lot of people thought was carried by Sway Lee. Tory would have beat him if he could have used Stay Scheming, which was a lot of people said was assisted and helped and carried by Rick Ross and of course Drake.
Drake got one of the best verses ever on that. One of the best verses in hip hop on Stay Scheming.
All right, but what I'm saying is that if we didn't disqualify it for that, why now when he gets emboldened to put himself in a hit conversation? Keep in mind, I know people. I say Jay-Z's a religion for some people.
He said the wrong name. He said the wrong name. I was just telling you before we started rolling. There's like 3 people's names you can't say there.
You with Kendrick Lamar, you brought up God. You brought up Duckworth. Why you ain't bring up DNA? Why you ain't bring up Element? Why you ain't bring up Loyalty? Why you ain't bring up those songs for Kendrick?
Perfect. I'm glad you asked that question, and it's a very valid question. Wait, I'm proud of you. I'm gonna tell you why. Because, again, I'm a numbers man.
Okay.
I quickly Googled how many entries on Billboard, which this is usually what simply is called a hit, an entry on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. And how much did Kendrick have? How much did French have? Kendrick has twice as much as French, right? But here was my thing. And I was saying because Kendrick's a bigger artist, every song on his album is going to chart on the Hot 100 at least once when it debuts. Doesn't mean those songs are legit bona fide hits. That was my point. So what do we have to do? We have to compare songs like DNA to songs that French Montana. And again, I keep throwing out what's the criteria. If there's no features, there's not even a competition between French and Tory. If there's no features.
When we was having our Jay-Z Drake debate, my only debate is this. I know numbers wise, Drake spanks everybody who's probably made a song almost, other than fucking Michael Jackson, right? Now,
but that's a hit for him.
Wait. So look, the only thing I was saying with Jay-Z and Drake is the same thing that you're saying right now. There's tons of records that might not be considered a hit as far as Billboard entry. So when we saying, I don't think that all these songs that you mentioned, I Cannot Live or I Can't Knock the Hustle even, are just cult classics. They are hit records. That's what I'm saying. So when I said Jay got just as many as Drake, that's what I meant by that. The same thing that you're saying right now.
I would agree with that point, and I feel like we are coming to a close understanding of what that argument was. The only reason why I won't agree with it is because, like, the songs for Jay that, you may have, we're calling hits over time, Drake has the numbers to back it up too. You get me? So like the ones that Jay doesn't have the numbers to back up, Drake already has the numbers.
All right, let's wrap this one up.
It might be the basketball thing where it's like, different time periods, because again, these guys are in the streaming era, which is very unfair. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Okay.
In terms of numbers.
Now, did they have any problems prior to this, or is this just because of what French said? Because now this back and forth is continuing, like I mentioned before, with Thug saying he's gonna get the footage of French getting knocked out, etc., and then him saying that he's done more for Max B than French Montana has.
I hate to see stuff like this. I don't know why, but like I hate to see it go that route. But I think that this is the cons to this damn debate, not the debate, the battle scene, right? While I think that the battle shit should just be like, okay, we just here to appreciate both artists for how good they are or whatever, it starts to get personal and niggas start saying, oh, because then French took it, said, I got more money than you, and then Thugger starts saying shit, and then it gets a little bit shaky.
They had to argue about the pools. Gotta argue about the pools. You gotta see the view.
Drake got the best pool from what I heard, so you know what I mean? Like, we always will go there.
Kanye still feels a way about that one.
Right.
I do think there's an underlying issue there. Has to be. It got too personal too quick. Yeah. And perhaps maybe it was because French's response to Thug was instantly saying, well, bro, why are you even getting at me like this when you rocked a dress in my video, which may have struck Thug on a personal level to say, whoa. Mm-hmm. Not because I said, like, he did say, to be honest, he did say you're in your feelings. I'm just talking fact. I'm talking music facts, right? But I do think it got to be more than that because, again, Wayno knows a lot of how, disagreements and stuff like this happens and gets handled in the industry. Mm-hmm. The person who manages Young Thug, guess who he manages? French Montana. Sal from XO. Manages both of them. Yeah. Oh, so, again, if you know that fact, and I know that fact, shit, when I went to go interview French Montana, I saw Sal. We talked about French's music. You know what he said? Yo, I also manage Thug, and he mentioned a couple other people, and he said, yo, this is how Thug's been moving in terms of how he wants to put out music. And I was like, oh, okay, like you're developing a roster.
He must be having a really good day then, watching this fallout on social media. Can you imagine?
Well, I would think that...
Who does he call first?
I would think that you somehow put them on the line together. Mm. You get me? Somehow put them on the line together to, mediate that type of thing. Because even though, beef could be attention and, it's good for, clicks and stuff like that, I do think, it could change the perception of one or both of their brands, which you are in charge of as a manager somewhat. You feel me? So, again, when I saw that happen, I'm like, they probably was a little spicy or a little, subtweeting or some shit before. Yeah. It got personal too quick.
Well, look, hopefully by the time we're back on air tomorrow, they have already patched this up. Actually, no, before we get on air, so we could actually talk about it. And I don't think this hurts Young Thug's brand. He's been beefing forever. If anything, he's kind of fallen back a little bit, but every few months or at least once a year, he has to pop out.
He was going hard this time.
They going crazy.
He is quite often going hard. All right, look, let's end on a positive note. So Lil C's was on an IG live session with Smoke DZA recently, and he revealed that Biggie actually thought Jay was a better rapper than him, which is dope. He said they just bonded on some G shit because they respected each other as men and respected each other as artists. Big wasn't afraid to tell Jay that he thought he was doper than him. So see, sometimes great MCs can give other great MCs props.
Yeah, I mean that's a cool story. What's more interesting about like the whole Biggie thing? I'd be like, damn, I've outlived Biggie over 10 years, and I still feel like he's older than me at that time. Like for him to be at that time, he probably was like 22, 23. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And just his maturity as a man was kind of crazy. But that's a dope story.
No, I agree. I look at those stories and I don't put too much weight on it. You know why? Because, I do think sometimes what an artist might say, sometimes some artists are really self-deprecating and really giving props just to others. What the fans feel and what Biggie may have felt, even if that's completely true, might not be the same. And some people might feel like, yo, that's actually a testament to why they know Jay's the best. And some people might be like, yeah, Biggie could have felt that, but still, I still feel Biggie's doper, So, like, I think that's an interesting thing to kind of see about Biggie's personality, because there are many artists who, when other artists' names are mentioned compared to theirs, they either scoff in disgust or they go out of their way to try to, diminish or belittle that other person to try to show like there's not even a comparison. Mm. For Biggie to even be like to give a nod to someone like that, it shows actually that's a trait of humbleness, if you ask me. I think that's dope.
And being confident enough to give someone else their props.
Absolutely. Shit, I mean, when Wayne like even admitted that he said certain things to like Drake, I was like, wow, like, bro, like, you're Wayne. Like, nobody want to hear that shit. Right. And, again, I think that's humbleness. Not everyone's that humble.
Mm. Yeah. All right. Thank you guys for the heated debate. Academics, we don't want to keep you much longer. We know you need to get back to the kitchen and tend to your oxtail.
Right.
No,
that you're allegedly cooking.
Yo, it's down real low.
Do you even have pots and pans at the crib?
Are you kidding me?
Do you have like the old...
Hold on. Wait. Let me flip it on the moderator. You know what a pressure cooker is, Nadeska?
Of course, I don't have one of those though, but my mom used to cook in it.
Does he have?
You use a Dutch oven.
Nadeska is the person who could only cook rice and not burn it with a rice cooker. You get me? Listen.
Like, I do not own rice cookers. Yo, people in Brooklyn don't have spaces for all these extra fucking appliances. You cut it out.
I'm just telling you, yo. You come in here, it's a full-on feast. What you think? You think I just got this big old McDonald's? Nigga, I'm cooking all type of shit. And my mom told me to lay off the red meat. Salute to Mama Demics, you know? She said, lay off the red meat a little bit. Right. I know you love your oxtail, you love your curry goat, but chill. Keep it white meat, keep it chicken. And I'm like, Mom, you know I love that. I'm like, yo, oxtail was too expensive for us when we were broke. Now I could buy it.
Listen, if you're eating chicken, no white meat. Don't eat chicken breast. This shit is dry as hell. Have you some like thighs or drumsticks. And on that note, we gotta go. Send us your picture in the group chat later. Send us fan questions on Twitter at Everyday Struggle. 2Gs. No one cares about your final thoughts, academic. Save it.
Nobody
See you guys.
Nobody cares.
See you guys tomorrow
I see
on Everyday Struggle.
She's probably on Google like looking up like ingredients list. Like, yo, recipes like how to make. They said put 2 teaspoons of sugar.
I can't stand
what the hell? It don't look like the picture. Like, what the fuck?